Wright SLAMS £42 million transfer. A nightmare at Arsenal. Yerny and Arteta's biggest problem comes to light. Meanwhile, Arsenal receive massive £97 million Champions League boost. Andrea Berta plotting market coup. Another big day for Arsenal. And if you carry this club in your heart like we do, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because every victory, every signing, every heartbreak, we live it all together. Let's jump into today's news. Arsenal's season has ended in disappointment after being knocked out of the Champions League on Wednesday night. Paris Saint-Germain won 2-1 at the Parc des Princes, securing their progression to the final in Munich at the Gunners' expense. Martin Keown believes Arsenal were tactically perfect in the second leg against the Parisians, but this hasn't prevented the inevitable inquest into where things went wrong for the North Londoners this campaign. While injuries and suspensions have undoubtedly hampered Mikel Arteta's team, question marks have to be raised about the approach to last summer's transfer window. Wright questions Arsenal signing Riccardo Calafiori. Just about falling short in the league last season and not quite having the offensive firepower to overcome Bayern Munich in the Champions League, it was clear that Arsenal needed an injection of attacking talent last summer. Instead, Arteta opted to sign Riccardo Calafiori for £42 million and Mikel Merino for £27 million, with Raheem Sterling the only forward arrival. While Arsenal have been as solid as ever defensively, they've evidently lacked the quality in the final third to lead them to silverware. Speaking on the Wright House podcast, Gunners legend Wright questioned whether the investment in Calafiori was the right move at the time. Obviously, Calafiori's been out for quite a long time since he's been here. He said, "People will look at it and say, that's been a bit of a nightmare for us, simply because we did get Takahiro Tomiyasu from Bologna, and he's had problems with injuries. We've got Calafiori from Bologna, and he's having problems with injuries. So you think to yourself, was that the transfer priority then?" Calafiori has managed just 11 Premier League starts this season, suffering from 5 separate injury issues throughout the campaign. If he'd been fit and firing, the sentiment around the Italian's transfer may have been different, but he's hardly featured, and the opportunity cost of his signing is now subsequently a talking point. Signing a left back was certainly a need for Arsenal last summer, with Tomiyasu suffering from injury issues, Oleksandr Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney out of favor, and Miles Lewis-Skelly undiscovered. However, the Gunners also needed to strengthen their attack, and they failed to do so. Kai Havertz was overburdened when he was fit, and the German clearly needed cover and competition. Meanwhile, neither Leandro Trossard nor Gabriel Martinelli has performed well enough this season, and this was predictable before the campaign kicked off. Resources should have been allocated to an elite attacking player, with this potentially making a major impact on Arsenal's season. The Emirates hierarchy does have an opportunity to redeem themselves this summer. Arsenal linked with Morgan Rogers' transfer in summer switch. As Arsenal look to add some more creativity and goals to the team, Berta appears to have landed on one Premier League star in particular. According to Football Transfers, Aston Villa star Morgan Rogers is one who is on the radar for the Gunners. Berta is believed to be a huge admirer of the versatile forward, who is capable of playing on either wing or as a number 10. The 22-year-old has enjoyed a step up from the Championship to the Premier League following last January's move from Middlesbrough. Rogers has played almost every minute in the Premier League for Aston Villa this season, helping them make a push for Champions League qualification. It remains to be seen whether the England international would be available, with a contract until 2030, but a lack of top European football could pave the way for a deal. What Unai Emery has said about Arsenal transfer target Morgan Rogers. With Rogers excelling at Aston Villa, there is an Arsenal link there, having been coached by former manager Unai Emery. The Spaniard has helped develop the forward to the next level, with some big moments already landing over his year or so at Villa Park. Speaking back in April 2024, Emery explained exactly why Rogers was so good, telling Sky Sports, "He is a player. He is intelligent. He understands football. When we analyzed and we signed him, it was because we analyzed his ability to adapt quickly to our structure." It's the sort of character review that would seemingly fit well for Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal squad moving forward. Arsenal eye move for Valencia defender Christian Mosquera ahead of the summer transfer window. The summer transfer window is set to be a busy one for Arsenal, which could include the defensive ranks if exits are made. William Saliba has been linked with a transfer switch to Real Madrid, with the Spanish giants pushing to land him as his contract dwindles. Beyond him, Arsenal insider understands that Jakub Kiwior is open to leaving Arsenal in search of more minutes, while Ben White is one to watch in the weeks ahead. With that in mind, the search for possible replacements is underway, with Cadena Ser reporting that Valencia star Christian Mosquera is of interest to the Gunners. It's claimed that Andrea Berta once wanted to bring the 20-year-old to Atletico Madrid, but with his switch to Arsenal, there are now hopes of landing the Spanish under-21 international. An offer as little as £17 million could be enough to secure him, but there is interest elsewhere for Mosquera. It remains to be seen whether Arsenal will get a deal over the line, with it likely to require exits elsewhere in the squad. Christian Mosquera is one of the most promising up-and-coming defenders in Europe, with the 20-year-old featuring heavily for Valencia. The right-footed center-back has only 1 year remaining on his contract for the La Liga outfit, with a possible exit on the cards. Mosquera has made 37 appearances across all competitions this season, showing he can play at a top level in the center of defense, but with some cameos at right back too. It remains to be seen whether that could translate into Premier League performances at the highest level, but it's a move for a youngster that fits the transfer policy at Arsenal. Andrea Berta handed £97 million Arsenal transfer boost with latest Champions League payout. It's common knowledge now that the Champions League is a lucrative competition, with so many teams pushing to qualify for it year upon year. This season is Arsenal's second back in the competition after a hiatus, which has only seen progress made by the club. After a quarter-final exit last year, the move to a semi-final displays some movement forward from the Gunners, which will only add prize money to the pot. Add in the expanded Champions League format, which includes 2 extra games, and Arsenal has seen a considerable increase in its revenues. The base fees for each round of the competition were: participation, £16 million, round of 16, £9 million, quarter-finals, £11 million, semi-finals, £13 million. That makes up for a £49 million boost to revenues, but those figures are simply the base fees and don't include other factors. When adding in extra money for winning matches in the league phase, their league phase ranking bonus, where they finished 3rd overall, a qualification bonus, and the UEFA value pillar, the amount equates to much more. In prize money alone, Arsenal have made roughly £97 million from this season's Champions League. That's an incredible boost to the club, and it could be used to help bolster the transfer war chest for the summer. Arsenal's run in the Champions League has proven that the side can push themselves deep into the competition. While there were fine margins missing, the displays have suggested that even more needs to be thrown at transfer additions, rather than less. Add in the extra £97 million now in the club's accounts, and it could point towards some extra wiggle room in the budgets. For Berta, that could be exactly what he needs to get a few deals over the line, helping to strengthen the squad further. It remains to be seen who the sporting director will land, but Arsenal insider understands that a striker, a winger, a midfielder, and a backup goalkeeper are all a priority this summer. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!